Here we are at Bar Baloo, and after a couple of trips around the block to find parking, I am going to deliver one Galop d'Elysée heirloom squash to one of the finest French restaurants in the city. So I think the first thing they're going to do at this restaurant is they're going to explain to me how to pronounce the name of this wonderful, sweet heirloom squash. And the second thing they're going to do is show me how to cook with it. Hey, Damien.
What's up, dude?
How's it going, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Saved you a trip to the market once. This guy's always at the market, so for once, I'll go around the block a couple times looking for parking. I brought you the squash, but you have to pronounce it for me, because
Galop d'Elysée.
Okay, yeah. That's the word I was tripping over with my tongue. It's
a nice French heirloom pumpkin.
From what region is it?
I think it's originally from the Medoc area in Bordeaux. It means the warded pumpkin from Messines. So yeah, I mean it's all the warts. But supposedly like all the the flavor is really good, like right under the flesh. And they call them like sugar warts sometimes because it gets really sweet, especially the longer it gets in the fall and the winter, the sweeter the pumpkin gets too.
I brought you some seasoning peppers.
Dude, I love these things.
Another chef willing to take a risk to go beyond the smell of that habanero. You wanted some celeriac, but I just had some that I picked because I was making some mashed potatoes and celeriac, my basic farmer's dinner, and so I just had it sitting there, so it's not fresh out of the but I got you some of that stuff.
Oh, that's good. We're gonna pickle up these guys too today.
Pickle it. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. What we're gonna be making today is a spiced and seared yellowfin tuna with the heirloom French pumpkin. We're gonna do that 3 ways with pickled vegetables and our Greek yogurt. What we got first is we're gonna take our pumpkin here. And we're gonna do 2 things with well, actually 3 things with it today, because it's a nice early season pumpkin right now, and it's also a good pumpkin too because it's not like stringy, like your regular kind of pumpkin variety. Yeah. So like I really love that a lot about this pumpkin. So we're gonna prepare it 3 ways actually for this dish. We're gonna roast some of it. We're gonna pickle some of it, and we're also going to
look at all that flesh.
Do some of it raw. So I mean, you can see it. I mean, you can see how nice and juicy it is, and how beautiful the flesh is.
Yeah, it's like marbled. It's like an incredible piece of steak.
Actually, the seeds are pretty good too. We've taken the seeds before and cooked them in simple syrup and then fried them. So it's pretty nice. You can utilize the whole pumpkin. There's no reason we got to throw anything away.
Do you want me to cut a couple more like that?
Yeah, cut up this guy. Cut them into the thirds.
Like
and then we're gonna wrap a couple of them up.
All right. So what do we do? Put these.
Yeah, put them. We're gonna roast up 4 pieces. So we'll put them in there. We'll give them a little salt and pepper. Just like to season everything up just a little bit before we put them in. Always helps out with a little more flavor.
A little more.
That's good. Okay. Maybe a little more on this guy. All right, so we're gonna roast these guys in the oven. So while those guys are roasting off, we have some of the other nice big chunks here like this, which are perfect. And you can see how nice and tender it is, and how easily your knife goes through it. When I was first cutting it, I was like, okay, I mean, let me see what it tastes like. I like to see how things taste like when they're raw. Yeah. Too, because you never know.
Well, now I see what you're saying about you could not do that with another.
No, I mean, here, try it raw.
You can make a little,
I mean, it almost tastes like it has a texture kind of like a jicama, or like a water chestnut almost. No, it's crunchy.
So you're cutting these pieces up for pickling?
Yeah, we're gonna pickle these guys up.
Wow.
Why don't you cut this guy up into kind of like little strips for me?
Boy, I feel like I have the dexterity of a 3-year-old.
And what we're gonna do then, so this is the stuff we're gonna use for our raw, and then we're gonna get on our stuff. We're gonna cut up some stuff for our pickling next.
Wow.
So before we do that, I want to show you the little pickling liquid that I started to make. It's a little bit of rice wine vinegar, some star anise, thyme, bay leaves, chilies, seasoning.
Chili there, right? Yeah,
seasoning chilies up in there. Cinnamon and cloves. We're gonna get a little fancy here.
That's why I thought you had carrots out there.
Yeah, right. I mean, we just kind of play with them a little bit.
Beautiful.
I just have to cut them in half again.
Half
so you get like half moons out of them.
And here's the celeriac.
Yep, this is your celery root. So we're gonna pickle these guys up. Pickling, I mean, you usually want to go for about a good, at least 24 hours, if not a little longer, depending on how thick your product is. You can hot pickle or you can cold pickle. So we're just gonna take this and then strain it through. And then we're just gonna, you know, throw it right into here.
Is that like a, what kind of vinegar is it?
Rice wine vinegar. We got our Oikos Greek yogurt. And then we're gonna just puree it up with one seasoning chili.
He only needs one of those little chilies. It's not a hot chili, but it's gonna infuse it. It's gonna, you know, it's powerful. It's still powerful, I guess that's the word.
Yeah, oh, it's got flavor. Yeah. So we're gonna give a little bit of fleur de sel in there too. It's still nice and loose because we want a nice light sauce with this. I'd already pre-roasted off a little bit of the squash because, you know, the squash takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So now you can see how kind of the colors intensified a little bit on the squash, and you can smell it too. So we're gonna puree up the rest of this guy. And what we're gonna puree it up with, I got a little, it's like a little bit of brown butter and milk. It's seasoned with garlic and thyme and peppercorn. I mean, you can just smell that nuttiness of the brown butter in there. I mean, oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, get in there.
Yep.
Don't be shy. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna add a little bit of this in here.
Really hungry, man.
Yeah, and so it's such a smooth pumpkin. I mean, it purees up really, really quick, and you can just get right up in there. Then afterwards, we take this, we strain it through a chamois, season it up a little bit, and then we'd be left with this guy right here.
Wow.
This is what we got right here. We're gonna keep it nice and warm. Kind of on the side over here. We got some beautiful yellowfin tuna, pickled mustard seeds that we already did, some pickled okra, our frilly red mustard. This is some of the pickled squash, pickled pumpkin, and now you can really get in there. I mean, see how beautiful and bright and vibrant it is. And this is our pickled celery. The celery retains, I mean, it stays bright and white. You can smell it, and you can taste that seeding chili in there.
Wow.
It's nice and delicate, and it still retains some of that crunch. And we got some pickled mustard seeds in here too. These guys are pretty cool. Both my grandparents, Italian grandmothers, you know, they pickled and preserved and roasted things and saved them all the time, like over the winter and everything. That's what you did back in the old country. So just kind of caught onto that when I was younger, and then just carried over to my cooking now. We're gonna take some of our tuna here. Some nice yellowfin tuna. It's the center cut of the loin. I'm gonna season it with it's ras al hanout. It's a blend of a bunch of different spices. We're gonna put a little bit of this guy on here. And we got a little mix of pepper here too. It's a couple different peppercorn blend. You get like a nice, as even coating as possible. So when you bite into it, you know, you want to get everything you can. And then a little sea salts finally. We're gonna put a little bit of olive oil into here.
This is really great.
And as soon as it hits the pan, you can start to smell the flavor released out of the all the spices. You're gonna cook every side. You let the heat carry through there. Usually you don't eat a lot of rare tuna or seared tuna. Traditionally in Italy, usually most of it's, they call it ventruska, the belly of it, and it's fatty, and then you slowly cook that in olive oil, and then it's nice. It's really tender. The flakes apart nice. And you mix it in salads. You can make like a tuna salad out of it or something like that.
Wow.
So this is our salad here. We don't need to dress it up with any of the juice because we got all the pickles in there. We're gonna use a little bit of a nice little Spanish extra virgin olive oil. Give it a quick little toss here.
So if you didn't sharpen it, you might not get a good clean cut there.
Yeah.
Is that something you every time you cut into something, you just give it a quick sharpening?
Yeah, sometimes, you know, just to be on the safe side. So
oh, look at that.
See how beautiful that is. So we're gonna start off with a little bit of our heirloom pumpkin puree. A little swipe. Our yogurt puree.
The yogurt puree, look at that.
You know, so you can see how nice, you know, she looks. And it just folds really, really nice. And then we're just gonna plate up our salad right here. A little bit of fleur de sel.
I'm gonna take the sort of one swipe, try to get a little bit of everything with this shot. Okay. Whoops. See, is this too big a bite? This is too big a bite.
It's only a big a bite if you can't fit it in your mouth.